Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
It's Toppin. Gets it inside the double team comes. And now it's Watts who kicks out. Heading. Watch out. White collects. Toss to Council. Council answered. Peterson pull up. Got it.
Crazy.
So smooth.
He is so good.
Watts catch and shoot. Got it.
Hey, you gotta love that he keeps shooting it.
Peterson catch and shoot. And Rosario swoops in for the rebound.
That's why they recruited him.
Oh, and Peterson way downtown, and he knocks it down. Atwell, catch and shoot. Buries it.
Great set play.
Watts will try. And hit. Tech with the lead. Anderson will try.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Peterson to Council, and he hits.
Big shot.
They needed that.
Yeah, they sure did.
Under 90 seconds. They find Peterson. Launches.
Oh,
hits. Oh, boy. Toppin.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
61 apiece, under a minute to go. Everybody on their feet in Lubbock. Peterson buries it.
Wow.
Watts. Atwell.
There it is.
And White, it's a loose ball.
Gotta shoot it.
Atwell. And Kansas escapes with a win. Darren Peterson down the stretch, knocks down 2 huge threes, and Bill Self and the Jayhawks win it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program. We've got Landon Winkler over there in the corner, and we've got a fun one planned for you here today. Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. If you want to watch this show as well as listen, you can do so by going to greatbendpost.com, clicking on the sports news tab. There's a post that says Tuesday on Sports Day. You click on that. The video feed is right in that post, and you can watch the show live. Of course, if you want to see the cool things that we throw up, given the guests that we have that come into this program, that's awesome. And when we can, we will also video the guests, and we'll have them on camera whenever that's available. But not the case today. But we'll get to who the guests are in just a moment. But we'll start the show off with the sounds of the past 24 hours. As we do every single game. The Kansas Jayhawks on a Monday night. They play Saturday. They have off Monday, and then they come back on Sunday. They played Texas Tech, and in Lubbock, they got the win 64-61. Really fun game. If you watched, I hope that everybody watched this game. If you have any just passing interest in college basketball, this was a great game, back and forth affair. Texas Tech got a 10-point lead at one point. I believe it was tied. They went on a 15-5 run to get that lead. Kansas clawed their way back. In the final minute, it was Darren Peterson who played the full accompaniment of 35 minutes. He played all but 5 of the 40 minutes of this game. Was spectacular. Had a very human night shooting the basketball. Was 5 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. But the really important thing that he did, he goes, like I said, 3 of 7 from 3. He was 1 of 5 from deep until the last minute of that game. And in the last minute, Darren Peterson nails 2 threes, and then Kansas gets the stop on the other end for Kansas. And, man, they escape Lubbock with back-to-back top 15 wins. They defeat the number 13 team in the country 2 games in a row. BYU dropped from number 13 to number 16, I think. Texas Tech replaced them in that 13th ranked spot, and Kansas goes into Lubbock and takes them down. A really, really impressive showing. Also, Melvin Council Jr. with a great game. He finished with 16. Trey White with a big game. He had a couple of big threes as well. He finished with 10. Flory Badunga with 14. He, once again, 1 rebound shy of a double-double. Peterson also with 2 rebounds in this game as well. Watching that dude move with the basketball, he is so fluid. He is so effortless when it comes to how many different ways he can score, and just overall a super impressive showing for a really, really impressive player. And Darren Peterson, when he's healthy, when he's able to go full bore, he's excellent. And he is tough to make it, tough to defend, because even if you're up in his face, even if you're getting good shot defense, it's perfectly possible that he just buries the shot in your face anyway. And that's really the most annoying kind of guy to play against. So Kansas, Darren Peterson, Bill Self, and the Kansas Jayhawks continue to roll. They are, again, up to number 13 in the country. I'm trying to look and see when their next game is. I have the schedule up in front of me. I just got to get to the bottom of it. Here we go. Their next game is going to be Saturday, so they're off in the midweek just like K-State is. They will play Utah in Allen Fieldhouse on Saturday at 1:30. So great. It was a bit of a rocky start. The non-conference for Kansas was decent. It wasn't great. I believe actually those were the words that Bill Self used. It was a good, not great non-con season. So for Kansas to at this point have multiple wins over top 15 teams, and now they get a chance to take it out against a good Utah team. This has been a really great conference season so far for Kansas. Let me check their record real quick. Kansas in the Big 12 is currently 7-2. I don't have the standings in front of me, and I don't want to continue looking up stuff and delaying the rest of the show. But really impressive stuff. 7-2 in the Big 12, 7-2 in the best conference in college basketball, and they continue to be very impressive. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also in part by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Lastly, in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the very best in the country. We're going to hit our first break. On the other side, it's our typical Tuesday show. Jade Winter, back from the flu, back from a little bit of bad health with the team. Some crud's going around. I've told everybody over the past, really, I've been feeling it since Thursday night. Since Wednesday night, came in here Thursday, and I told people about it on the show. And it's still going around, but she's feeling better. The players are feeling better. Took a tough loss Friday night at Hayes. They'll talk about that a little bit, but still a team that I think is dramatically improving as the season continues. We'll talk to Coach Jade Winter and a couple of players, and you'll get to hear that conversation on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by members of the Great Bend girls basketball team, head coach Jade Winter, along with Shayla Pendergast and Catherine Mazook. Guys, it's been a little while. Know that the flu's been going around. I caught a little bit of it myself, but everybody seems to be kind of back to normal. How are we feeling?
I feel almost back to normal. We do have a couple girls that are still going through the ringer a little bit. So it's kind of hard just trying to find that balance between pushing yourself in practice but taking the rest when we're sick.
There is something for, like, you're good enough to be back at school and you're good enough to do some physical activity, but you're maybe not at 100%, and you're trying to strike that balance. How do you strike that balance? What goes into that?
It's just a lot of communication from us coaches to the players on how they're feeling, kind of stuff that we need to focus on without having just to get up and down the floor and go crazy at practice.
So let's talk about what's happened since the last time you were in. Talk about the Salina Invitational Tournament a little bit. You guys, specifically that South game, you guys against South, first time around, not a very close game. You guys don't play very well. You come back, you're in their house, and all of a sudden you're playing them down to the wire. What changed from matchup 1 to matchup 2?
I would just say the confidence between the girls. You could tell that every shot that was taken was more confident. The defensive possessions, we kind of knew what we were in for, and the girls took advantage of getting in the passing lanes, applying ball pressure when they were guarding the ball, and boxing out and rebounding. And I think they did a fantastic job that game at kind of realizing that, we can play with Salina South. And it, I think, opened a lot of eyes to girls of how much they can score, what they can contribute to the team.
Also got Shayla Pendergast and Catherine Mazook in the building here with us. So, girls, let's talk about that matchup as well. I mean, when you have that matchup that suddenly is much closer than it is the first time around, which there's not that much distance between these two games, only about 2 weeks or so, what does that do for the level of confidence that you bring into a game?
I think that we just had to keep putting work in practice and making sure we're watching film, especially I think on that game myself. I was like, okay, this is what they do. Maybe we can critique this. And we talk about stop, score, stop and building momentum. And I think the first game we really struggled with that on the offensive side. And that second game around, we were scoring, we were more confident, and we put those stops and scores back to back to where we had momentum and we were able to stick with them for so long.
Okay, and Jayla, do you have something you want to say?
I think that since we had already played them, we kind of figured out where the holes and stuff were and where we needed to be. And everyone was just a lot more confident. Like, if they had a shot, they were going to take the shot. They knew what they needed to do on defense, on offense, and everything just clicked well.
And you roll that momentum into the next game the next day against Abilene, and you pick up the win there. Tell me about that game, Coach.
It was a great win for us. You could kind of tell it took us a little bit to get going, but once we started rolling again, it's a momentum thing, and you could just tell that the girls were excited to shoot the ball because they knew before it left their hands that it was going in.
All right, and guys, that win a little bit, what do you remember from it?
I think I just remember after having such a close loss, we really wanted to get that second win, especially having the same tournament schedule as we did last year, and not having the success we wanted the previous year coming off, and we really wanted to get Abilene to make sure we did not repeat the year before.
Yeah, we just it kind of stung a little bit that we lost to South, and so we were really took that and made it productive so that we could beat Abilene.
And so let's fast forward to what happened here over the weekend. You guys were on the road at Hayes. one of the better teams in the area. You guys can't really get out of the gate, Coach, and talk about the environment and what it was like playing there.
I mean, they had a great home environment with their new gym. I told the girls, we're not only going to be fighting Hayes, their basketball team, but we're going to be fighting their student section. We're going to be fighting just their fans in general. And it's definitely a home court advantage when you're going there. They have all the pieces put together for their atmosphere.
So I know both of you are multi-sport athletes, and talk about what it means to face off with Hayes.
Oh, it's always a rivalry. And in anything we do, I mean, we go to math relays and we're like, oh, let's beat Hayes. Like, I mean, it's everything we do, but home court advantage is definitely a big thing when we face Hayes in every sport. I vividly remember last year, our first quarter against Hayes. I mean, we were on top that first quarter. I mean, I'm excited to have them come back and play here because I hope that our home atmosphere will be just as hard for them to play in as it was for us to play at Hayes.
Yeah, just making sure that we stay within ourselves and not focusing on all the outside stuff. I feel like that will help us really come out next time we play them.
And looking at tonight, Manhattan, tough team, good at everything. Coach, what's the scout going into tonight?
They're really athletic. They got a couple girls that can play basketball, but they're mostly just athletes out there on the court. It's really hard when you play a team that it's all just athletes. It's like, what's their best sport? You're not really sure because they're out there doing the best they can at every sport. But they definitely have some flaws. They're not great rebounders. We have been winning the boards a lot of our games, so we're hoping to continue that streak and kind of own the boards a little bit. Chayla definitely helps us in that category. And again, in pushing the ball, we can't really get into a track meet with those teams that are just like to run, and they're a really good track program too. So whenever you get a track team on the basketball court, it can make for a long night.
And this is your last non-conference game. This is the last game that you're playing out of the WAC, and the season is kind of, I don't want to say coming to an end, but it's coming up on it quickly. When you've only got a couple of weeks left in the season, does the mindset shift at all?
I think it shifts a little bit more towards that, we're going into WAC play, and that's really when we need to start performing and executing on offense and getting stops on defense. Those non-conference games are really good to kind of work out, if our set's going to work against switching defenses, if they're going to work against people that front the post. And so I always say nothing really matters until you go to conference, but a lot can change in the WAC. We have a really competitive league, but the couple WAC games that we've played, I think we have pieces that are definitely good pieces to have, and other schools in the WAC should probably scout us more than they do.
Fair enough. So I'll talk to you. Are either of you seniors? I should know the answer to this question by now. Okay, so Catherine's a senior.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 more games against Liberal, 2 more against Dodge, 1 against Garden, and 1 against Hayes. Knowing that that's all that's kind of left of your high school basketball career, and then whatever you can do postseason as far as tournament play, what does that mean to you as a senior, and now that you can kind of see the end of this?
It's definitely bittersweet. I think that we need to, one of my goals as a senior leader is to make sure that we put what has happened in the previous season behind us, but learn from it and not take maybe the record or those things, the negative energy, into effect for this WAC, because anything can happen in the WAC. And I know that we go to Liberal on Friday. Obviously we have today, but we go to Liberal on Friday, and I don't remember if I've won at what they call the Big House. And that's a very gettable game, I think, if we put those pieces together, that we've seen in many WAC games, and I just want to get it. I'm ready to win at Liberal.
Fair enough. You guys mentioned sometime last time that you were all in here, the negativity, right? The negative energy, and I believe don't say stupid things was a goal that you guys set. What's the mindset of the team like right now? How are you sticking to that mantra?
We're definitely trying to, keep those negative thoughts just compressed, especially, people are going to talk, especially outside of our programs. We always tell our girls, turn your ears off. Don't listen to the negative stuff that other people are going to say outside, because when it comes down to it, they're the ones on the floor. We're the ones trying to coach them, and everything else is just white noise.
White noise. Yep. All right. Guys, good luck tonight, and thanks so much for the time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is head coach Jade Winter, Shayla Pendergast, and Catherine Mazouk of Great Bend Girls Basketball joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to the girls for coming in. Always fun to interview them. I've talked about on this show how much I enjoy interviewing female athletes just because, one, I feel like there's space for that platform. I feel like not enough people are kind of giving them the attention that they deserve in a lot of sports. And also, they're just usually good interviews. They don't take themselves too seriously when they're on the air, and they like to have fun. And, obviously they're serious competitors, but with things like this, they come in and they're just kind of willing to talk a little bit. And I really enjoy that. And that's a pretty common theme from what I've seen around high school sports on the girls' side. And they've been a lot of fun. So tonight against Manhattan, really, obviously a very good Manhattan team. It's Manhattan. They're good at everything. So that's not the only thing that we have going on tonight. I'm trying to find the right page here. Here we go. Tonight on our airwaves, Manhattan and Great Bend go at it in Great Bend. Hoisington is on the road at Smoky Valley, and Hillsboro is on the road facing Larned. So you can hear all three of those games on our various airwaves. We'll give you more details later in the show. It's how we'll end the show. But looking at Great Bend girls basketball so far this year, it hasn't been the season they wanted. Pretty much everybody knows that at this point. 3-12 on the season, and the thing is, though, there have been so many promising moments where they just haven't been able to lace it all together like you'd like to see. You got that big comeback win over Pratt. They were down by 20, came back and won that game. That was really impressive. Big win over Kingman, a Kingman team that isn't very good, but you're playing a team that just isn't good, and you beat them by, let's see, the final there was 46-32. You beat them by 14. Hey, congratulations. That's what you should do to a team that isn't very good. But, the game after that Pratt game, 47-18 against Salina South, that obviously not great, but then you come back and you play them 2 weeks later, and they beat you by 6, and just you can feel that this team, we talked about how many of these girls play on a very successful volleyball team and a very successful softball team. And the fact is, and some of them are track athletes as well, and that's a pretty good program for Great Bend. So there are good players here, and you have the promise, you have the skill, you have the raw talent. It's a matter of trying to get it all to fit together. So I do keep waiting for this team to turn the corner a little bit. And I really liked what Catherine said about, she wants to win at Liberal. They've played at Liberal a ton, and it's one of her goals for her senior year is she wants to win at Liberal because she just doesn't know if she ever has. And really, really interesting stuff there from those girls, and a whole lot of fun to talk to, like I said. But like I said earlier, you've played 2 WAC games already against Garden and against Hayes. You're behind the 8 ball because you lost both of them, but you've got at Liberal, home against Dodge, home against Garden, home against Liberal, at Dodge, home against Hayes. And so you've got, after tonight, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games left. They're all conference play. 4 of them are at home. And like Coach Winter said, every game matters. But as far as what you do in the postseason, it's the WAC contests that matter by far the most. And so you got to look at this schedule and go, all right, well, if there's an opportunity to turn the corner, it's this home stretch where you've got 6 games. All of them matter as far as seeding in the postseason, and 4 of the 6 are at home. So go out and win a couple of these and try to solidify yourself as a team to be reckoned with in the WAC. And, there's still a whole lot of season left if you can just get things going in the right direction. And again, I believe this Great Bend team has the talent to do that. Sports Day today is brought to you in part by Current Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also, by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. We got to hit our next break. On the other side, Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, joins us over the phone, and we talk about what's been another disappointing basketball season and one that maybe isn't going to get turned around as quickly as Great Bend High School's it could. So we'll talk to Wyatt on the other side about the K-State Wildcat basketball team. You're listening to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320. Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Looking for a meaningful career where you can make a real difference? Barton Community College's adult healthcare program can get you there fast. Become a certified nurse aide or medication aide with Barton's state-approved training. Whether you're just beginning your education journey or advancing your career, Barton offers flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and hands-on training, giving you the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in today's world. Learn more at adulthealthcare.bartonccc.edu.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Saving for the future. I'm Michelle Franzen with today's tax tip. When parents are filing taxes this year, they'll have the opportunity to open a new IRA for their kids, known as Trump accounts. IRS spokesperson Stacey Ingle says there are eligibility requirements.
They were born after January 1st, 2025, and is a U.S. citizen and being claimed as a dependent on your return.
Ingle says parents need to look for Form 4547 to create an account.
The federal government will deposit $1,000 into that account. Those accounts will not be able to be accessed by the eligible child until they reach the age of 18.
Anyone can deposit money into the accounts up to $5,000 per calendar year. And IRS.gov has a Trump account calculator.
If nobody deposits 1 cent from their first year of life to their 18th birthday, it's estimated to be worth over $300,000 by the time the kid's 18.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmies make it happen.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, joined now by Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. Wyatt, the wins are not coming fast and furious for the Kansas State basketball program right now. But regardless of that, I hope you're doing well.
Oh, doing okay. You know, I've told other people in interviews that I've been through some tough conference seasons before, and you know, you will fight your way through it. But boy, it's not as much fun. You know, I told a guy a while ago I'd much rather be 8-1 than 1-8. But this is a basketball team that is struggling on a lot of different fronts, and it's tough right now. You can't mask it. It's just what it is.
So let's. I don't feel the need to talk too much about the Iowa State game that was played on Saturday. It feels kind of the same kind of game that we've seen from Kansas State a lot in the conference season so far, of too many fouls, not enough rebounds, and the shooting couldn't keep up enough to close that gap.
Yeah, you said that well, and I try to tell people too that you have to go into a game like that thinking you have to be even better than you normally are, even though you're struggling, because of the competition. This is a really high-level basketball team in Iowa State that is good offensively and defensively. They played well. K-State didn't. Cats were up, 4-2, and then to put the rest of the half in perspective, they have a run at that point of 17-2 and another one later at 20-2, and it's 50-21 at half, and you have really no chance to win the game. So it is, like you said, it was similar to some of the others. We've been blown out a few times. We've lost some close games, playing shorthanded, not playing well in some areas pretty consistently, and that consistently gets you beat.
I do want to talk a little more about the West Virginia game because it's significantly closer, not as talented a team as Iowa State. K-State does come out with a loss, but the foul discrepancy was not major. The rebounding was a little bit closer. And so that West Virginia game, I think after the game, Jerome Tang said something to the effect of, we can guard when we really want to, and we can defend without fouling, and we can rebound pretty well when we have the right matchups. And so what did you see in that West Virginia game? Let's go back to that one a little bit and talk about why this game was so close.
Well, I thought they did compete. And to be honest, both teams did not shoot the ball well for the most part, and in particularly early in the game. If you remember back to that one, I think K-State was up 13-5 to start. It probably should have been 18 or 20-5. And then the next thing you know, it's 16-16, and the next thing you know, you're down 28-18, and you're fighting uphill. Even with that, though, they're up 49-45 late in the game with about 3:45 left, and just weren't very good down the stretch. I thought the effort was good, and you want to, when times are tough, you look for things that, stick out that are good. I love the effort, but it comes down to, late game situations. You got to be better than the other team, and West Virginia was better than K-State. Wildcats played hard, but P.J. Haggerty goes 6 for 19. You only have 10 turnovers, which is pretty good, but you shoot 37.5%. It's hard to win on the road. The other positive of that one is the defense was pretty good from a team that has not played good defense most of the season. So an up and down game, but at the end of the day, it's still an L, and you come home not feeling good about that.
You used a word there that Jerome Tang has used a lot as far as positives for this Kansas State team. The effort is there. The will, the want to, the give a dang, whatever you want to call it. K-State's got it. They just can't overcome what you and I think is mostly a lack of size in the front court. And so this care, where do you think this care comes from with these guys, and how do they continue, even like you said, in a season that isn't going well? How do they show up night in and night out and keep it going?
Yeah, I think the bottom line to that is they know there's not alternatives, right? It's been a tough stretch. It's been a long season, really, really hard. But the games keep coming at you, and you got to keep trying. There have been, I don't want to mislead people, there have been times when the effort wasn't very good with this team this season, and that's the truth. I think Bowling Green certainly comes to mind. That was where Coach Tang was probably the most mad that I've ever seen him after a game in his time here. And there have been stretches like that. I don't, not sure how to say this, but like against Iowa State, when they have some of those lapses, when the game is out of control, I'm probably not as hard on them there as I should be, just because I think when you're beat down like that and you're down 35, it's pretty hard to have focus. But that's why it's hard at the Power Four to win games, right? We can talk all day about what K-State doesn't have or how poorly they're playing, but those things, you know, most coaches are going to tell you you can supply the effort always, and if you don't have that, then what are you doing? So I think he's going to ask them to continue to give it their best effort and see what happens. And we may or may not like the results, but that's what you got to live with.
Let's talk about the post game after this Iowa State game. It was a very strange interaction between Jerome Tang and the Kansas State beat. He kind of defended his players' effort, and the beat kind of asked what he meant by that. And there was a strange reaction from Coach Tang. I obviously under a lot of stress given the way the season's going right now. What did you make of what happened post-game there?
I was a little surprised at the comments, to be honest with you. A lot of guys in that situation will, prefer to take the high road. But I do think that he felt like most of the game, the effort was pretty good. It's just that they're, not good enough and shorthanded and all of the things that we've been talking about. They just got overwhelmed really by Iowa State and their skill and their coaching. The trapping and stuff really led to run-out dunks at the other end or layups to get you down after a 4-2 lead at 19-4, whatever it was, and 19-6, whatever. And Coach Tang mentioned after the game that, at least with Stan and I, that he didn't like his plan, and sometimes that happens in games like this. K-State didn't handle that double-team pressure early. They were better in the second half with that. They were, but by then, they're playing PJ off the ball a little bit more. That seemed to help, and I like their energy to start the second half. But then it waned too as Iowa State continued, to have success on the offensive side and just stretch the lead out. That's just the truth.
So I once heard someone say about the sport of basketball, you are what you have done in your last 3 games. When you look at the last 3 for Kansas State, that game against KU, that was very close up until the last 5 minutes or so, a close loss to West Virginia, and then what happened against Iowa State. When you look at the next 3 for K-State, what do you see for them, and how do you think they can improve on what these last 3 have been?
Well, good question. And I don't know that it's going to be a lot different than the previous 3 in that if you put all of that together, you had stretches of decent basketball, but you also had stretches where it wasn't good enough. And you wonder about, with the lack of consistency with this team and, frankly, with depth and size, what can they do? Because 2 of these next 3 are on the road at tough places to play, in particular Houston. And in the middle of that, you've got a home game against Cincinnati, and K-State has struggled all year long with long and athletic teams, and that's exactly what Cincinnati is. They're not perfect, and they're probably not anywhere in the vicinity of what Houston is, but yet when you look at their people, they have pretty good personnel, to be real blunt. I'm working ahead a little bit on them, and they've got Mustafa Cham and Baba Miller up front and Jizzle James and Day Thomas in the backcourt. And they've got a couple of freshmen that are really good, and Kirk Risa off the bench. So, not trying to make light of it, but it's the Big 12, and you're going to see this kind of stuff every night. And right now, K-State's having a hard time matching those teams.
And obviously, we talked about size in the front court, and we had this conversation off the air a little bit, but this front court depth or just lack of size overall, regardless of who's on the floor, this isn't really an issue that you can just address mid-season.
No, not in this particular case. Would it help to have Kamari McGriff and Elias Rapiak this weekend? Sure. But we don't know that that's going to be the case. Just throwing a guess out there, I would say we'd probably have good fortune if one of those two guys were available with the way this thing looks at the moment. I don't know that. That's just me talking. I don't have anything. We're a little bit early yet to think about that because it's, early in the week and we don't play till Saturday. But you've got to, it would help a lot if one or two of those guys could play. Does it make enough difference to where you're in the game and have a chance to win on the road? Well, that would be up for debate. Without those guys, it's certainly up for debate. And you'll have to play probably above what you've been doing to give yourself a chance. Maybe you go out and this is one of those games where you hit 13 or 14 threes like Iowa State did, but you can't count on that. You don't know.
So K-State off in the midweek this week. How are you spending, this midweek break? And I guess also, what is the team doing with the day off?
Well, they did give them a couple of days off, and I think it's much needed. That's why you have that. You have 1 week in conference season where you don't play a midweek game, and I think it's designed to give them a couple of days away and hit the refresh button a little bit, and it's probably pretty much needed here. How am I doing? I'm basically working ahead, just because that's how I do it. I'm pretty much ready to do the TCU game tonight, but I've been working ahead and watching some stuff on Cincinnati and peeking around the corner at Houston and updating some of their stuff. And, we've still got teams that we haven't seen this year, Baylor, Tech, that kind of thing, Colorado. There's always something to be doing in terms of working ahead for me. That's what this is. It lightens up once you get to the spring, but not so much now.
And so talk to us about TCU a little bit. How have they looked on the season, and how have they dealt with some of the like opponents for K-State?
They're an interesting team for me because they do have some pretty decent pieces. Like everybody, they hit the portal pretty hard. They went out and got a junior college player, Xavier Edmonds, who's really been pretty good. He's 6'8" and 245 to pair with David Punch in that front court. Punch a year ago was a 6.5 point a game guy, but he's improved to 14.3 points a game now. Then they've got Jaden Pierre, a transfer from Providence, and Brock Harding, a transfer guard from Iowa. Robinson and Posey are back. They've got a couple of freshmen, and then another transfer from Utah Valley, a kid that had a lot of his family play at BYU. This kid's name is Tanner Toulson. So they've got decent personnel, but they've had games where they've been really good, where they gave a Michigan a huge run, which is really hard to do, and then they, lay an egg last Sunday in Boulder and get smoked by the Buffs 87-61. So they haven't been as up and down as K-State, but they've been a little up and down. How's that for a scouting report?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get you out of here on this. Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Just to end the conversation on a different note here, know that you and I are both football junkies. It's the last football game that we'll get to talk about for a while. What are your thoughts? Who are you rooting for? And give me a prediction. Give me a Super Bowl prediction before we get to the game.
Well, I'm probably the worst at predicting winners and scores, honestly. But I do think I'm going to take Seattle here. Because of a couple of different factors. I think they are one of the most balanced teams in the league. And I think, I don't know how much you've watched the Smith and Jigba kid, but I think that kid may be the next superstar in the league. He is a remarkable, electric athlete. I think he's going to be hard to cover. And you know what? As a guy that kind of likes underdogs every now and again, how could you not root for Sam Darnold at least a little bit?
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Left for dead multiple times in his career.
Oh yeah, and now he gets some coaching and gets in a situation. Not that they had bad. I mean, I don't want to rip on anybody's coaching because I'm not, smart enough to do that. But The Jets have been a perennial loser. I didn't think they gave him a fair shot. He clearly didn't get a fair shot in Minnesota. And look what he's doing now. I think it's a pretty good feel-good story. And yet Drake May is really good. The job that Mike Vrabel's done is awesome. I'm going to say close game, good game, but favoring Seattle. Will I be shocked if New England wins? No, but I think Seattle's the better team overall. That's just me.
That makes sense. I agree on every count. Wyatt, thanks so much for the time. What time are you going at? Well, usually you have a game tonight or tomorrow when we speak, but you're off in the midweek until Saturday.
Yeah, and we will hit the air at noon Saturday at Schollmeyer Arena. Looking forward to going down there and catching up with my buddy Brian Estridge, and let's see if K-State can knock up the Frogs and kind of get this thing turned around at least a little bit.
Wyatt, thanks so much for the time.
Yes, sir. Anytime, bud.
All right. That is Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, joining us here on Sports Day. Something I look forward to every single week, speaking with Wyatt Thompson, a man who is incredibly smart, incredibly good on air, and just a nice guy, just a very nice guy. Yeah, this Kansas State team, it's been tough for them. That Iowa State game was bad, man. I don't know if anybody watched that, but it wasn't like the Kansas game where it was tight and back and forth, and then Kansas just kind of pulled away at the end to make that score a little more lopsided, but actually the game was much closer. No, this game was never really close. Iowa State got out to a double-digit lead within the first 5 minutes or so, and they just kind of pushed it out the rest of the game. The numbers that are bad for Kansas is, it's the same numbers that have been bad. K-State fouled 19 times in this game. They gave up 38 rebounds. They had 21 themselves, 10 offensive boards for Iowa State in this game. So just not a great showing for the Wildcats. And their season continues to be a struggle. And like Wyatt said, it's not something that you can really fix in the middle of the year. Injuries are a massive problem. And some of it is just they didn't have the guys to begin with. They've got some front court players hurt that if they weren't hurt would help, but I'm not sure if they take away all of the issues that K-State is dealing with right now. And but yeah, good news for everybody. Super Bowl. If you're a K-State fan, you have a football game to watch instead, and that's coming up on Sunday. Patriots and Seahawks. I'm excited for that game, and more excited than I am to watch K-State on Saturday. And I'll watch the game. Well, actually, I don't think I will watch that game. I'll be on the road. I'll be at Pratt as Barton is taking on the Greenbacks on Saturday, or not the Greenbacks, but the Beavers. The Pratt Community College Beavers, and not the Pratt High School Greenbacks, is who Barton will be playing. And so I can already tell that at least twice on the broadcast I'm going to call them the Greenbacks. And I'm just going to have to feel like a moron for a little bit. So, yeah, that's going to be my Saturday. And Kansas State going to be going up against a TCU team that is a decent team, but is beatable. Purple on purple crime happening in the Big 12 as Kansas State will travel to play TCU. And, yeah, I don't know what the result of that game is going to be, but I know that TCU is at least a mortal team. And when K-State's gone up against mortal teams, they've looked decent. Close losses to Utah, or actually they did beat Utah, and a close loss to West Virginia in their last two teams against teams outside the top 25, and that's going to be TCU on Saturday. So maybe, you know what, I'm still keeping track of it. Just for Wyatt, I'm pulling for the K-State Wildcats. All right, we're going to take you to our last break of the show. When we come back, well, actually, hold on. I'm getting out ahead of myself. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank at Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. All right, now we're going to take our last break of the show. You're listening to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Hey, Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Looking for a meaningful career where you can make a real difference? Barton Community College's adult healthcare program can get you there fast. Become a certified nurse aide or medication aide with Barton's state-approved training. Whether you're just beginning your education journey or advancing your career, Barton offers flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and hands-on training, giving you the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in today's world. Learn more at adulthealthcare.bartonccc.edu.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Welcome back. Final couple minutes of Sports Today. The program is brought to you in part today by Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of the community members. Also by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. If you ever wonder, if you listen to this station at certain parts of the day, you'll hear my voice on a couple of things. Sports Day every day, obviously. Sometimes there's an 8:30 show that I'm the host of as well. But also I record news. Used to record it in the mornings and afternoons. We've moved to where I'm just doing it in the afternoons, effective as of today, actually. And one of the things that you may notice, or one of the things that you don't notice because I pre-record those, is how many times I mess up that recording. And you can hear it in the way that I mess up reading these tags for our sponsors, and giving them credit, thanking them for sponsoring the show. And you can hear me whenever I screw up doing one of those. I just start it over, and that's kind of how I do news. And it's a very similar feeling that it just gave me. All right, let's tell you what's on our airwaves tonight as far as sports. All of these starting at 5:45. Over on B104.3 The Point, big one for the Great Bend Panthers as they get ready for WAC play. So again, the final parts of the season here, all WAC play down the stretch. Manhattan, though, not a WAC team. They're going to face Great Bend here tonight. Mike Hesher over on the call of that one. You can listen to it on B104.3 The Point. You can also watch it at greatbendpost.com. Hover over the More tab, click on Watch Panther Video Stream, and you can get to it from there. Sign up. The account is $10 for just the game. There is also a yearly fee where if you want to watch the whole season, you pay one flat fee, and boom, you're there. You're just watching games. The account that you create will have access to all of those games. You can go back and rewatch old games if that's what you want to do. All of it with the commentary from the voice of the Great Bend Panthers, Mike Hesher. Also, on our other sister stations on 100.7 Eagle Country, you can hear Hoisington basketball as they're on the road facing off with Smoky Valley. That's a CKL team, CKL matchup there that Hoisington will take part in. And Caden Sanders, Gene Manweiler on the call of that one. And on our station Hits 106.9, more high school basketball for you. Larned hosting Hillsboro. That called by Gary Wagner and Buddy Tabler. So it should be a very, very fun game that those guys get to call. Larned is having a great season so far. To give you a preview of tomorrow's show, Jace Morgenstern, the head coach of Hoisington Wrestling, obviously a very storied program. He'll be on the show. And it's a very Hoisington-focused day as head coach of the girls basketball team, Trina Luters, for Hoisington, will be on tomorrow's program as well. Big thanks to Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, for coming on today's program, today and every week that he has been since we started this thing up. Also, a big thanks to Jade Winter, Shayla Pendergast, and Catherine Mazouk of Great Bend Girls Basketball for making an appearance and for telling us about their thoughts going into this this home stretch of WAC play. All right, we'll do it all again tomorrow, same time, same place, 1230, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. This is Sports Day. We'll see you all again tomorrow.